Hello and welcome to Become Unstoppable Testimonial, where I'm going to be introducing you to my lovely friend Emma Ellis. I'm just going to call her up for you. We'll get her up here immediately. Oh, she's here. Well done. That was really quick. Hi, Emma.
I was waiting. I saw it come up and I thought, right, that's it.
I was just saying, it's always like I press the button and just hope and pray that it all comes good, and it has come good. So welcome, Emma.
Hello, welcome. Hi.
I was just about to tell the audience about you, but I didn't get around to it because you appeared by magic very quickly, so that was good. So this is Emma Ellis. She's the founder of the retreat, but you call it the retreat retreat. What?
The retreat Sound and Soul is one aspect of. It's like a branch of my business, and then I obviously have the retreat beauty room, which is where all my holistic therapies and other bits and pieces go on.
Yes, in that lovely room that you're in now.
Yes.
So just for transparency, Emma and I have known each other, how old's Josh? 23?
Yep.
I first met Emma when I was very heavily... Oh no, I've had Josh.
Oh, you just had
Josh, who was now coming up for 24 this year. So that's how long we've known each other. Through friends, and we've been in each other's lives ever since, and we've grown together, haven't we? Emma known me in my old corporate world, and I've known her in quite a few different roles actually over time.
Yes.
But beauty and that has always been close to your heart, isn't it?
It has, yes.
So we're going to talk about what Emma does a little bit later. But as you all know, I have two streams of my Instagram live. I have Client Testimonial, Become Unstoppable Testimonial. Now, obviously, Emma is unstoppable, but she's here specifically today around a client testimonial. So Emma's kind of been blessed and cursed probably having me as a friend, because throughout my whole training of doing stuff, even back in the day when I was doing counselling, I've used her as a guinea pig, if you like, to try all my new things out.
Vice versa, though. Vice versa
as well. So we've been there for each other to help each other out and grow ourselves and our businesses. And I know when I did my NLP training, I was experimenting on you. But I think since I learned the rapid transformational therapy and rewire, as I call it myself now, I think you'll probably agree it's taken it to a whole new level, hasn't it, of what you can do.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So what we're going to start off with is just Emma's going to just give you a brief overview of what she wanted to work on when we did our one session. And obviously she's not going to go into detail of what come up because that's personal to her, but we'll give a bit of a brief outline, and so you get an idea of where she was and where she is now and how it's impacted her life.
Yeah.
So over to you, my lovely.
Okay. Oh, hold on 1 second, sorry. Well, I have been, I'll get to the chase really, get right to the point, fatigue. That was why I initially went to Julie, because I'd been suffering from this fatigue bouts probably since I was about 42. I'm 46 now, so...
Looking gorgeous, darling, looking gorgeous.
Darling. And yeah, it kind of hit me out of the blue. It floored me, actually. For the first year of having it, it was awful. It really did affect me emotionally, physically, everything. It affected everything I did, my work, my personal life, family life, as a mum, as a partner, as a businesswoman. I just got really badly affected by it. And yeah, so I was speaking to Julie about it, saying, oh, I don't know what this is. I've done lots of research, and Anne had lots of tests at the doctors, and we were left with two other possible things it could be. Chronic fatigue syndrome, which my GP wasn't quite comfortable at diagnosing just yet, but she said it could possibly be that, or perimenopause. And then, you know, it kind of, once I did a lot more reading on the perimenopause, I could see that actually there was more than one symptom that I could definitely tick. And then I saw what Julie was doing with her business and could see that, you know, becoming unstoppable in the prime of our life. And it is the prime of my life. It is, you know, this should be a point of celebration that, you know, my body's changing, my life is changing, but I couldn't quite get to grips with it all. So Julie said, I can help you. And that was where the RTT session come in. And it was absolutely unbelievable. Lots come up, stuff that I didn't expect at all. It was quite profound, I'll be honest. Very, very profound, and quite life-changing. And there are times now that I still think back to that session, and just think, wow. And my life has changed since then. My fatigue is a lot better. I mean, like, million times better. Yes, I still have bouts of it, but it is nothing like it was. Nothing. And I honestly thought that was it. That's how I was going to be for the rest of my life. This is how it is. And I'll be on medication and God knows what. But luckily I'm not. And it has changed me hugely. Thank you, Julie.
It's amazing, isn't it? You're welcome. And, you know, and like I said, we're not going to go into what come up for Emma, but like with all the clients I work with, because we do it under hypnosis, which is just a deep meditational state, it allows you to tap into your subconscious, doesn't it? So we're talking to the real truth, the real reason, not your conscious mind. And you went back to scenes when you were a baby, didn't you? When you were really young, and that's the important part. You can't work this out consciously because you just don't know. No. And it's those scenes that come up that you don't remember, or you might, sometimes you remember them, don't you, but you don't understand the feelings and emotions that are attached to those scenes, and that's where you get dragged back from, isn't it?
Yes.
In your everyday life.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the things that come up for me are, I'd never in a million years would I have thought of any of it. You know, you are in a state where it's an amazing treatment. I can't honestly, I can't say enough where it takes you. You just have to trust me on it, and it is
amazing, isn't
mind-blowing.
It? And it is only been one session for you as well, isn't it?
One session, but homework still. You give us homework.
Yeah. So as part of the session, or part of the treatment, if you like, you get a recording, don't you, that you have to listen to. And I have to stress to my clients, I can't stress enough how important that part is, because that's the permanence part. So you basically uncovered your limiting beliefs. We've got rid of them. Yeah. But we need to replace them. So if your belief is I'm not good enough, or I'm useless, I'm worthless, we need to fill you up with some really, really lovely good stuff, but also visualize the future, because that's the whole way our brain works, isn't it? The power of our imagination. And visualizing your goals. And you have to feel them, you have to really want them, so you have to see them, feel them, and really bring them into your heart. And even now you listen to that recording, don't you, when
I do, absolutely. Whenever I feel there's like a, you know, I'm very aware of my feelings. I've done a lot of work on myself, so I kind of know the little trigger points and the sort of the warnings, and I really listen to that and go, right, okay, I need to go back, work on it again. Come on, let's really affirm all this positive stuff, take away all those old beliefs that either, you know, I've thought of, or someone has told me in the past I'm not good enough, or whatever it can be, and just replace it with lots of positivity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And since you've had that session, where do you think it's impacted your life, or how do you think it's impacted your life?
It's given me huge amounts of confidence, not in an arrogant way, but in a way that I can believe in. I believe in myself, where before I had limiting beliefs. I would be worried about what people would think of me, or what they would say about me, that I weren't good enough, that I can't do the things that I dream that I want to do. And it's kind of, my business has evolved since then, and I have taken a step towards doing something that I really love. And that's where the retreat Sound and Soul has come into it.
So tell us a bit about that.
The Retreat Sound and Soul is basically a branch of my little holistic therapy room. But about 5 years ago, I went to a sound bath. I'd heard about them, I'd read about them, I'd seen them online and stuff, but I'd never been. And I went and I just absolutely loved it. It really resonated with me to a point where, oh my God, you know, everyone needs to have a big piece of this. Everyone needs to go and experience this. And I've done lots of research and reading about sound healing and therapy. I went to loads more sound baths. I then kind of thought, well, hold on a second. I do massage Reiki in my little room. Why can't I bring in a little bit of sound into that as well and make up a beautiful treatment to really holistically help heal someone?
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I bought in a couple of different instruments, played about with them, and I made up a treatment. And it took me about 2 years, I would say, evolving it, working with it, working with my clients, what worked, what didn't work, what felt right for me, what resonated with me. And I really began to listen to my intuition and kind of go, Emma, you are on the right path here. So do it, you know, don't hold back. But I obviously then went through this whole fatigue thing, and it kind of did knock me a lot. And I thought, well, I can't do all this because I could get tired. I could have this awful chronic fatigue bout, and then I won't be able to do anything, because healing and holding spaces are very, it can be quite, I say draining, but I don't mean draining as
exhausting. It can be
exhausting. It's exhausting. Yes, exactly. You know, you've got all these eyes on you, and you are having to hold this space and hold it well.
Yeah.
Okay? Because everyone has an expectation when they come for this. So
and they will feel it as well, won't they?
Totally. They will feel it. If I'm not confident, if I'm not feeling 100%, I'm not going to give 100%. I can't, because I'm not firing properly on all cylinders, sort of thing. So yeah, so I kind of, after having the treatment with you, Julie, it kind of just reinforced that actually, Emma, you are good enough. People are totally invested in what you want to do. You will have the support. Yes, it's a learning journey, but we're always learning, in my opinion. I think that never stops. And just evolve with it, just like you did with your therapies. Just go with it, because my sacred healing massage ended up being, when I looked at all my reports, that was my most popular treatment in the end. So I've gone from, it was incredible. I just felt so much,
because you
so proud.
Put your heart into it,
I
didn't
really
you?
did.
Put your heart and soul in
I put everything into that treatment.
And I would like to say, actually, I've had that therapy quite a lot, and it is amazing. You come out of, I mean, Emma's got a lovely little space, and it's so calming and relaxing, and then you come out like you're like flying and floating. But I've also been to a sound bath as well, and equally, I mean, she started off with a few bits. Now she's got ginormous gongs. Every time I go around her house, she's got some other instrument that she just happens to accidentally buy.
I need therapy for it, Julie.
Addiction soon, yeah. But there's worse things that you can have an addiction for,
totally,
right? Totally. But, so what Emma does is absolutely lovely, and it fits in beautifully with where I am in my life now, because where I've continued to invest in my self-development, continue to do my therapy training, now we're very much doing about intuition, about healing energies, about, you know, your chakras, and this was all alien to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of it still is, but I never was in that place before where I could actually take notice of it. And I think Emma and I are in
I think with the whole chakra and healing, and I think people generally have this idea of what you should be like, you know, when you have this, not spiritual awakening, whatever you want to call it, transformation. You know, it doesn't have to be a spiritual journey. It could be about you, and you don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to be a certain person. You don't, and I think that's where a lot of people kind of feel that, oh, that I can't go there because I don't look like that,
it's
and
almost like
I'm not all peace, love, and
exactly
you
like
know,
a hippie type
hippie.
thing, isn't it?
It shouldn't be about that. It is literally about you as a person. What is in here? Everything else doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Does not matter.
Exactly what I was thinking when you were saying that. It'd be like, you know, in the 60s or something with the hey, peace man and all that sort of stuff.
You know, and yes, there are people that want to fit in that box, and that is absolutely fine if that's what you want to do. But trust me, I don't have dreadlocks. I don't wear a floaty skirt and wear white all the time. That I don't need to have that because it's all within me. It's within me.
Exactly.
It's not this. It's in here.
And I think that's what the biggest learning curve for me over the last couple of years of doing what I've been doing is understanding how you always heard about people going the heart, body and soul, and it's like, yeah, whatever. And it's like, oh my God, it is so connected.
It really is.
To, you know, like I've worked with people with physical conditions like autoimmune diseases, arthritis, couldn't walk. I mean, obviously they was able to walk, but they couldn't walk. If you mean, you know, I can't do miracles, but in that sense, but you know, even in sessions where we're doing, they come for anxiety, stress or something like that, I go, oh, do you have any pains in your body? And they go, oh yeah, I've always had this, you know, I did one the other day, and it's like, we got rid of that there and then in a session. She's like, oh my God, it's just gone. Someone else who suffers from their throat. And I said, oh, let's look at that then. And in the session, we didn't plan to, we looked at that and we got rid of it. We got rid of cystitis, we got rid of lots of skin conditions and stuff like that, because if you don't express your feelings and emotions, it'll either come out in psychological issues or physical conditions, right? And I didn't appreciate before, you know, like when you do your Reiki and all that, people heal it. There's so many ways to heal your body, isn't there?
So many.
And, you know, it's not just doing what I do, but it's doing things that you do as well, and all that Reiki.
Yeah, there's loads of healing modalities out there. It's actually, there are huge amounts of healing treatments out there, huge, all different types. And I say, you know, you have to, you get to the point where you're like, I am willing to try anything, because I do not want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to be in this pain anymore. And, you know, yes, we can moan about it. Yeah, oh, I'm in pain. Oh, I'm in pain. But actually, I'm sick and tired of feeling this. I don't want it anymore. That's how I was. I don't want this fatigue. I don't want to feel like this anymore. And obviously,
that's it. And then when I hear people like Emma, I can fix that. What do you mean you can fix that? No, the doctors, it's not worry about what the doctor said.
No.
Right? Because I mean, we love doctors and I'm not knocking them at all. Obviously, we need them and they're fantastic. Yeah. But sometimes as a patient, we're not happy unless we've been given a diagnosis. And some people, and I know this from conversations, they will badger their doctor until they give them a diagnosis. And then sometimes they're like, oh, well, it's probably that then. Okay, so I've got that. I feel happy now. Well, you don't necessarily need a diagnosis. You need to go and get, you know, some healing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And just by, even if you just take 5 minutes out of your day, for yourself, self-care. This is where this whole thing now, I've just been watching such an amazing interview with Gabor Mate, and he was saying that, you know, women are 3 times more likely to have autoimmune diseases than men. And the main reason of that is because women's the way we are, we want to take on stress from others. We don't want others to stress, so we'll take it ourselves. Yeah, I'll take it on. I'm mum, I'll take it on. I'm your partner, I'll take it on. Do you know, women, if we lived alone, we would live longer than if we do when we're in a relationship. And that is what he was saying on his thing. I was like, wow, yet men live longer if they're married and in a relationship, because we take the stress for them.
Do you know what? Before I was lined up to do this review, like 20 minutes ago or whatever, I was on a call with a follow-up call with a client of mine who I've done one session with, and she was just telling me how like this has just transformed her life, and and already she's had people telling her she's different. Oh my God, what's going on? And she said, you know what? It's so easy, because it's like you go through this process. It's one session, right? I mean, okay, it's quite a lengthy session, isn't it? But it beats talking about it, doesn't it, for weeks and months and years sometimes.
Definitely, yeah.
You know, and you can get transformational results so quickly.
In one session, it's amazing.
And she was, yeah, I was almost in tears really, because that's why I do it, and this is why you do it, isn't it? It's when you see the results that your clients can have.
Yeah.
And
yeah, when I get client, you know, they'll message me the next day and they'll go, Emma, I can't begin to tell you how different I feel today. I feel lighter. I feel like I'm awake, you know, and I just, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I helped to
You did.
that.
Yeah.
But she did it. She was also 50% of that, because she took the time out. Self-care.
Exactly.
And that's why for women, essentially, as well, not just men, but women, where we know we suffer with stress, having self-care and sorting out these problems and spending time on yourself is just, I think it's essential. It's not an option. It's not an option. No. And it's not a treat. Oh, let's go and have a treat. No, this is vital. You are the most important person in your life. You are.
And it always goes back, and you know, there's been an ex-air hostess about putting the mask on first on the plane, doesn't it? And I use that all the time, because I just think it's so everyone knows that.
But inside, you're like, oh.
And it's like, if you don't put yourself first, you're being selfish.
Yes.
So you need to invest in yourself, whether that is going out and coming to speak to me, or going out and going to work with Emma, or whether you read a load of books, listen to podcasts, listen to meditation. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
And then when I get the lovely reviews, and you probably feel the same, and they go, oh my God, without you I wouldn't, and I go, yeah, I was there to facilitate and help you. You're the one that's done all the work.
Yes.
You have to want to do it. And if you don't want to do it, then I don't want to work with you. And probably the same with you. If you're not going to enjoy it and go for it, then there's no point.
There's no point. It's a waste of their money. Your time, effort, the amount of effort and time and energy that we put into our treatments. It's not just in out, you know, it goes so much deeper than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they need to be open. They need to be open and welcoming and go, I want change. I am having accountability for the change in my future now. And I think that's where it is. That's exactly it.
Exactly. And it can cover anything, can't it? Any physical condition, any psychological condition, or a combination of all of them. Yeah. But it's about making that acknowledgement that, you know what, now's the time for me. Now I need to make some changes.
Yes.
And if you can do it, the younger you are as well, the better. Because, you know,
about all this.
Exactly right. And this is what I was having a conversation with my client earlier, because she's like in her 50s, you know, and it's like the only regret I've got is I didn't know about all of this before, and I didn't do it before. I mean, we can't regret our lives, because that's who made us who we are.
Exactly.
But the earlier you can get to people, the better. And that's why both of us love what we do, because you can get to people in different ways. But what Emma and I will do going forward, because we work on stuff all the time about what we could do, but it's about collaborating. It's about, you know, eventually we want to be running retreats, don't we, and things like that. And I can do what I do with my hypnotherapy and, you know, and doing the psychological, physical changes, but combining that with learning how to manage your energies and start using intuition and all that good stuff, isn't it? And having that self-care, and the more people that know about it, the better, really.
Yeah, and going on a retreat, you're all with like-minded people, all wanting and believing in the same format, in the same energy, and it's so much stronger. That's why I love my sound baths, because it's such a group energy. It's brilliant. Everyone wants to be there, even if they're a little bit nervous at first, because they're not quite sure really what's going to happen. You still took that leap to come and spend an hour out of your evening to just spend time on you. The brain,
yeah. And I'm going to be honest here, because I reckon there's going to be a lot of people that resonate with what I'm going to say, is I struggled big time, and I probably would say struggle still to keep my mind shut up for quite a long time. And when I've done long things, you know, like meditations and stuff, I do find my mind wanders. And I think it's important to understand that you're not out there on your own if you feel like that. But what we have to remember, it is work in progress, and our brain is a muscle, isn't it? So we need to keep practicing it. And I do get better, but then I have times where I forget again.
Yeah.
And then I feel a hypocrite because I'm sitting there telling my clients they should do this and that, and then I go, oops, maybe I should listen to my own.
You're human and you're real, and I'm the same. I'm exactly the same. One week I'll follow all the Wim Hof method. The next week I'm doing Deepak, and all, you know, I like to flit about because my mind is quite a busy, racy mind. But I know that the more I practice and the more I do it, the easier it will become.
Exactly.
And that's so true.
Yeah. And I think that's important to put that out there, isn't it? Because a lot of people get put off by doing things like that because they can't do it.
They'll do it once and they'll go, oh, no, it didn't work for me.
Didn't work for me.
Well, hold on a minute. Did you know, a great pianist just go straight up to the piano and start doing this massive...
Exactly.
Of course he didn't. He had to start somewhere. They had to start somewhere. And it's exactly the same.
Well, if you want to run a marathon, you have to build it up.
You do. You don't go
slowly.
straight out and run a 26 miles. Oh, that's easy. Yeah.
No.
Of course you don't.
Go to the gym. You have to start off with small weights and build yourself up. And
but I think with meditation, we seem to think we have this thing, well, I should be able to do it. Why? Yeah. What makes you so special that you can just meditate?
It's really hard.
It's really hard.
It's really hard.
It's like all of it.
Especially when, you know, as we get older, like you were saying earlier about when we're taking on everybody else's stuff and our mind's just like, ooh. Yeah. To calm it down is so difficult, but we need to do it. We need to learn, and just not doing it because it's difficult is not the answer either. You just got to keep trying it. Do it for 2 minutes. Gradually build it up.
Yeah. And there's different techniques out there, so try out different techniques.
Yeah.
There's loads of different types of meditation. Loads.
Yeah. Exactly. So Emma, tell everybody where they can find you and what sort of things they can work with you on, my lovely.
Okay, I'm in Stamford-le-Hope, just on the Homesteads estate. If you follow my page, the retreat_Essex, you will have a link at the top in my bio to take you through to all my menu of my treatments.
Lovely.
So it's really simple, really easy, and if there's a problem you can just message me. I do also have another page, the Retreat Sound and Soul, which is all just dedicated to my sound healing and meditation, so you can always follow me on there as well.
Lovely. And likewise for me, Julie Milliside, I'll post another banner with Emma's details on it anyway, but again for me, click in the bio and book a free clarity coaching call, which is about 45 minutes, if not longer, but where we'll get an understanding of where you are in your life and whether I'll explain to you how I work, and then we together decide whether it's an option to work together, because although you're checking me out, I'm also checking you out too, because I don't want to work with anyone who's not fully committed, because it's not good for my energy either. So it's about, you know, it's a two-way thing there to make sure that we're a good mix. And you know, and I hope by me doing these interviews and doing videos that you actually get to know me a little bit anyway, so you're already halfway there. So if you like what you see, then give me a call, go and click in my bio and come and see me.
Oh, so really, thank you so much.
And thank you so much, darling, for doing this, because obviously from a client perspective it's not always something that people want to share, although I am getting loads of people doing these now, so it's really cool, which means, you know, you're proud to share how you're improving and how you're getting on. And obviously it gives you an opportunity to share your business too. So for anyone who follows me who doesn't follow Emma, please follow Emma, and likewise any of Emma's followers, please come and follow me. And that way we can share what we do and share the love and put ourselves out there.
Spread it. Spread the love.
Spread the love. So thank you everybody for watching.
Thanks everyone.
We will put this video go up so that you can watch it going forward. I'll give a copy to Emma as well so she can put it on her social media. And yeah, thank you so much, Emma.
Thanks,
it's been
Julie.
such a pleasure. And
Thank you, darling.
see you soon. Love you
Bye. I love you.
loads. Bye.
Bye.